We live, theoretically, after how hard YouTube completely just started getting demolished yesterday. I gotta make sure. Like I've gotta make I have to make sure. Um oh no, also I'm yeah, and I gotta be paranoid that my chat is just gonna not work as well, since that's apparently something that can happen. I mean, I already knew the possibility of my chat just getting frozen mysteriously, but it's like on a new level now. Um Oh wait, actually something so I was doing some things. I forgot to wait, to take this text, put it here. I got it. I forgot to do a lot. How foolish of me. How foolish of me to have forgotten to do so much. Gosh, I gotta at some point actually go and make my OBS setup not garbage. Like, I know how to do it, I just don't feel like it for some reason. But I absolutely just should. Okay. So, let's double check this. Suspicious. Okay. I'm like, I don't trust it until I see it with my very own eyes. The true fraud is YouTube. YouTube is the true fraud. Okay, yes. I'm watching, apparently, allegedly. Not supposed to see viewer counts, but I saw it was. I was like trying to, as I was trying to make sure I'm actually live, because after yesterday, man, it was bad. It was bad. That was bad. YouTube was not functioning. It was heartbreaking, really, is what it was. Let's get the actual game going. Oh wait, and then I need, man. I just did a whole bunch of stuff with my OBS thing, is why I'm like having to sort that out as well. Okay, so goal for today, P-rank this, well, I P-rank this one, and this one. Just not that one, because it's like 20 minutes long, and YouTube started shitting itself when I was supposed to do that, so. I guess I just start. I'm gonna double check to make sure my chat's functioning. Because it was broken yesterday, and it sucked, because I couldn't see anything anyone was saying, and it was like defeating the whole point. So let me just T. Okay, well, it worked for me. I don't know if that'll work if anyone else tries to send something. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Chat is working. Thank you, His Epic Stickman, for sending a message. 8-3 is one of the best levels in the game, in your opinion. That is understandable, depending on what types of things you like. Personally, I don't really favor most of Fraud's levels that much. And I think that, like, this is a very grand level. Oh, wait, I have cheats out. Well, I noticed that before I started. It's a very grand level, but, oops. I prefer levels to be shorter, and it is the exact opposite from a short level. My own self-admission, considering I think the P-rank time is like 18 minutes. Good door physics. Because, like, for me, I kind of talked about this in my previous stream, which was like my first stream for this layer. For me, the thing I prioritize the most with this game, or I credit this game for the most, is replayability. And I just think having a long level like this is not good for replayability. Because you can't really choose what exactly it is you're wanting to replay. You kind of have to go through the whole entire sequence. I forgot just how hard the frame rate tanks in this. I think that for watching, it doesn't actually look as bad as it feels to play, which is... But I also might be wrong, I don't know. Because every time I look up, it shows like 24 FPS, which is definitely a viewable frame rate. I mean, I guess it's a playable frame rate, clearly, but... Yeah, it's pretty slow. How was I doing this so well yesterday, and this time I like I was going through that for the first time and I wasn't getting messed up by that. I think a lot of my it's like this is a very fascinating layer for me, mostly because I have a lot of criticism I could give it personally. It's of course opinion, because that's how game design works out. It's not really an objective good design for things. That was not the weapon I meant to use there. I thought you... okay. I just... every single time they got to that, like, part where they, like, did Gabriel's, like, thing, that usually they died, like, immediately after, so I assumed that they had, like, a comically low amount of health once they were at that point, but I suppose not. On a very different note, though, I do find it surprising that they actually added powers to Cybergrind just because they talk, and I think I would go fucking crazy trying to play Cybergrind at high waves with something talking to me constantly. Like, I think sound effects are a different story. Voice lines are a little too much because they're their speech. I think that's everything for that whole area. I also do find it funny, if perhaps even a little bit messed up, that they decided to make these levels so long, considering how much room there is for you to mess up a few rings. But I don't know, I guess maybe they're I fucked up actually. Yeah, that was just mistakes. That was just a bad decision, and then I didn't dodge that laser. I think the golden arm will be just like the Powers golden arm. Perhaps. I don't actually know what the Powers golden arm does. I haven't paid enough attention to their attack patterns. Because I haven't really super needed to. This is the thing, I have a tendency, until there's actually a reason why I need to pay attention to something, I have a tendency to not do that. So, at the very least, I mean, I know every single level has a kill plane for enemies that fall out of the map, but because of the way that this one was designed, I wasn't 100% sure if it had a kill plane outside the map, when enemies would, like, very frequently clip through walls and fall out of the map. Which was painful because this level's very long, but fortunately, I think that if an enemy just spontaneously disappears, I can just be rest assured that I'm stuck in the wall. There we go. I can be rest assured that they are going to die and not just... unless it's in space, because seemingly seemingly that like space section doesn't have a kill pin. And I think that was another thing that made me not very trusting. I should have this up actually, so I actually know if I'm on time to actually get the peering. I don't know if any of those nails are gonna hit them over there because of how much spread they have. I have never seen your enraged state. Yeah, and that's why I've never seen their enraged state. Seems like usually when they're about to hit it, they just die off. Very interesting. I missed the rail cannon shot, that's weird. I'm missing everything suddenly. I'm going to die at this rate. You know when you suddenly just forget how to actually move and play the game? Yeah, it sucks when that happens. Okay, so I never confirmed it for sure, but I'm gonna assume that I do have to do both of these runes, so I'm gonna keep doing it. When you parry at power, they enter free fall, then become enraged. Oh, okay, that's why. So it's just that I rarely actually parry them. Yeah, that explains it. I was like, every single time I'd see them enter the, like, free fall state, I just didn't really... I wasn't really sure why they entered it, when most of the time it seems like they just die, but yeah, that tracks. Because, like I said, I haven't even learned their moveset at all, so... if I parry them, it's pretty much by pure, like, chance. Goodness, I've never seen left-hand mode before. In general, the way my ultra kill configuration is just unusual. Because aside from the left-handedness, it's also... I have a very minimalist amount of AI, UI. I guess I do technically also use a very minimalist amount of AI, but that's an unrelated one. Yeah, I wouldn't even have the health bar there if it weren't for the fact that someone told me to turn it on, because I'm assuming that... I guess for, like, a viewing experience, it's nice to have the health bar down there, but I use the one that's around the crosshair, so usually I'd have that off. Where do I have to go to trigger this? Okay, well, I should have just shot them. Why try to do an extra parry when you're bad at the game, like me? Wait, hold on. If I... No, you go behind the thing so I can see if... Okay. I was curious if I throw a coin in this dimension, I guess, if the coin would go through the portal at an enemy through the portal, or if it would actually just ignore the portal and hit the swords machine who's in this dimension with me, but... guess I can find out the answer to that later. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember. Do I have to kill you without... Yeah, I don't. Good. That would have become a problem. Well, actually, I don't really need that right now. And then I don't think that the secret, like, ferrymen... I mean, they were easy, so I guess I could just, like, kill them again. I didn't even really realize what was going on, and I killed them. Oh, yeah. Got the gimmick for that room. You know, it's running better than it did yesterday, which, I mean, it's still not running well, but yesterday it was running at like 5 FPS, honestly. The fact I wasn't dying was shocking. Oh, well, possibly speak of it. Wait, is this where I go? Oh my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I started saying how it's not running at 5 FPS and then it suddenly decides to run at 5 FPS. Didn't know there was a stalker there. Red Fairyman is cool to see, even if you can't really get a good look at him. Yeah, it was like I said, it was like at the very, very end of that fight, which it was a neat fight, but it was at the very end of that fight that I fully realized what was happening. Like, I think I realized immediately that there was probably going to be one in the mirror, but I was like, oh, is it going to, like, get introduced when... But I just, like, was looking at the mirror wrong and didn't notice that there was already one in the mirror. Which was... quite absurd. Why did I go for them? I mean, I guess... by nature of how this whole entire environment works, was going the enemies I want to kill were going to make their way to me eventually. Yeah, I'm like really bad at not getting lost in games. I was surprised, and I am still surprised by how navigable this actually is for me, given how bad I am at not getting lost in games. So I'll give them that. Unless it is just the case that maybe, like, I don't know if it's because they went through the effort to make it to where this is navigable pretty easily, or if it just happens that I'm better at navigating things than I would expect. Awesome lag spike. So yeah, what I realized about this, though, this section, I had issues with finding all of the enemies in the level, and it was because I was missing this door because I would get turned around by the camera flipping like this, and I know I'm wasting time, valuable time for the P-runs, but I mean, there's a good chance I'm not gonna need all the time in the world. See, I don't trust when that happens, because there were enemies that had fallen off the world and didn't count as dead, so I'm gonna try to remember to deal with anyone who dares to fall like that. Also doesn't help because there's seemingly a bug related to sometimes when you hit a specific place, you just get launched really fast without any input from you. Unless that's just something that happens for an actual reason that I don't really understand. Whatever it is, it's unfortunate for actually remaining not disoriented. I'll have to double check that I was correct in the decision to go this way. Yeah, because this is where they give you this little fake out. That same fake out that I like missed it because I accidentally went a weird path the first time around, and when I did find it, it was... Yeah, anyway. I will say, the gravity changing thing, I still wonder if there's an alternative way of reorienting the player's camera. I wondered it with Portal, but the thing is with Portal is that they kind of could get away with it very easily because it's not really a... the type of game it is, it's just a puzzle game. So generally speaking, it's not a severe problem in any way. See, I don't know what launched me just then. Like, I just did a fucking super up dash somehow. I got no idea how. Do I go? Yes. This last arena is particularly kind of fucked up for me. And I'm not even entirely sure why. Something just has a tendency to almost get me killed here. So, we'll see how that goes today. If I first try this today, then that's gonna be surprising. Were the swords machines... Every time I'm playing this, I feel like the swords machines seem particularly slow. You know? First try today? Oh, well... That's something. Wasn't exactly my plan to first try P-ranking it today. And, okay, so the cutoff point on the time is like 18 minutes, but that took about 12 minutes. So, I guess that's significantly better than how it was in my memory, but considering I think it's kind of just definitive that this is a longer level than the Encores, and I kind of felt like the Encores were pushing it in terms of length. I think I still think this level is significantly too long. But 12 minutes and 47 seconds looks a lot better than what there was previously. Anyway, as in like what my previous understanding was, which is that the cutoff point is like 18 minutes or something like that. Well, I've already P-ranked 8-4. So that was like most of what I had intended for this, because I didn't think I was going to do that first try. I guess I could I could look for the secrets, I suppose. Why not? It would, completion's sake, be what it is. Alright, well, I'll change the title, because this is now a different stream, very slightly. Call it that, I guess. And there. So the title should be changed. I might be extremely bad at finding these secrets. I have no idea. I guess that's kind of the point of a secret, is that you don't know where they are, or what they're gonna do for them. And I suppose there's also the challenges, which... Wait, hold on. Let me see what the challenge is for this level. Just to try to do it. Wait, I've already done it. Okay, well. Never mind. So well, I probably shouldn't just go, I probably shouldn't just go breezing through these, considering that's. I'm assuming all these doors are just gonna lead to the exact same place. I don't think that they're gonna have any. Because most of the secrets I found didn't seem that secretive. Maybe because they decided to be nice about it. Because when you do something like this, you definitely could make something like, oh, one singular door has a very specific quirk in how it looks, and if you go through that one and then you do this specific action, like you can pull things like that when you design a game like this, but I'm assuming they didn't do that because it's not generally that favorable for someone to do that. But I will still, regardless, I will look through each and every single one as though there's a chance that I would notice anything out of the ordinary. The concept of streaming, looking for like secret orbs in ULTRAKILL is a funny one, because I don't imagine it to be the most fun thing to come up, but I don't know. I guess it's still ULTRAKILL gameplay. Confident at this point that violence will remain the best ULTRAKILL layer. Fraud is technically the best, but nothing will beat violence and how it technically encapsulates ULTRAKILL. Good night. Well, I mean, you know what? I'm just kind of thinking about it. I can definitely get behind that. I am not a huge fan of Fraud. So on that note, definitely. I definitely wouldn't consider Fraud to be the best layer, because whilst there's a lot going on here, most of the tricks they're doing are just very well documented tricks just applied to a genre that generally doesn't have those tricks. So nothing was particularly mind-blowing for me, but I don't know, that might just be the perspective that I have from the person that I am. But yeah, the most unique thing about Fraud isn't really the things that it does, but just that it combines it with a genre that generally doesn't see these sorts of things, which is worth something on its own, although a lot of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time, because I'd have to actually look at each individual scenario and count it up and everything. But a lot of the time I do feel like it doesn't add a whole lot, and it just kind of serves to, be there just to be there. It doesn't... It kind of oversaturates the things that they're doing for me a lot of the time. I don't think there's going to be anything else extra here, where I, funnily enough, intentionally went with the wrong skull because I wanted to go with some fraudulent behavior. I actually don't remember what the skull over there is. Not that it matters, because I pretty much put you through the same sequence no matter what you do. Okay, I'm pretty sure that means that the red skull is the one that was there first, because there was the ambient laughter type thing. I'll also admit, I'm not entirely sure what any of this has to do with the concept of fraudulent behavior, but maybe that's just me not being deeply invested in ULTRAKILL's lore enough. I've gone through a lot of this level. Oh, I've definitely missed secrets, actually. There's not even a doubt about it, because I missed, the first one, and I'm, pretty far into the level. Can I backtrack all the way back around? Would it even be worth it? Should I just do a second pass of this level and be more... Yeah, actually, I don't know if it would let me, because they do, that weird trick here, so... Might just have to do a second pass and pay additional attention. Because there's a lot of possibilities for things to be hidden all over the place here. I'm gonna guess that there's probably nothing else in this room that I've missed, only because I've jumped around this room quite a lot just in my own time for reasons. Reasons in question being because it's kind of discussing about that painting with a friend, not in a lore sense, but in a sense that it looks out of place to me. And I was kind of unsure why exactly it looks out of place. You know, maybe I would miss less secrets if it weren't for the fact that the whole time I played through it, I was always doing that. I say as I then do it again. This would be a good place to hide a secret in the sense of, like, it being fairly hidden, but I'm not sure if they would do that, and I don't know if I want to give the stream constant flashing lights like this. I mean, I could technically, like, cheat and turn on full bright, but I think I'm good. Just kind of going around all the corners and seeing if there's any, like, gaps or anything. I guess secret orbs make a sound, so I guess you could kind of just, like, listen. You don't even really need to see the gap. And I don't think I've heard anything. Should stand out quite clearly since this is a very quiet room, so I don't think there's anything here. Then again, considering the type of level this is, they could just, like, fuck with the sound. The sound doesn't have to... It doesn't have to work how sound generally would work. I wonder if there's gonna be an orb in, like, one of these windows that's, like, open or something. I'm not sure if they would do something like that, but it's a little bit obvious to some degree, especially because I think they've done things like that before. But I guess if I'm looking for secrets blind, I suppose I have to be prepared for pretty much every possible possibility, which is gonna be. The easier way to do this would be to rocket ride, but I am an avid rocket riding hater, so... And I'm gonna, like... I might... go back to the previous build, if for no other reason than to see... Have Swords Machines been slowed down? Because they seem so slow to me, but I don't know if that's just due to all my challenge runs that I've been doing. If I just, like, am I just used to this game running in, like, a way faster speed than it actually does? What am I doing? Horrendous fighting abilities. You know what, yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that health loss. Not like dying matters when you're looking for secrets. Hold on a second. Interesting. I never really noticed the mip-maps in this game. I wonder if mip-maps are even necessary for this game, given the, like, nearest neighbor filtering, but might be. So that's a secret I've already found. So that's presumably the center secret, so the next secret is somewhere after this, most likely. I mean, it could also just be in the same area, so that's not a perfect way of trying to gauge it, but presumably it's like, this is the point where the next secret could potentially be. I know it's not in here, because I was intentionally told to go in here for this, which I guess this maybe might be an item to get the secret wherever it is. I doubt it, but I mean, anything's possible. Perhaps there will be one single bathtub or shower that is actually functional, and V1 will take a shower, and hell will give them a secret orb for that. You never know. So. It really shows some... That would be some real subversion of expectations right there. If this game actually portrays an ULTRAKILL player taking a shower, I don't think anyone would see that coming. What? Oh yeah, I forgot, because I have this. I didn't know it insta-killed everything. I thought it only insta-killed hideous masses. Wow. I literally didn't know that that's how that worked. Alright, well. I guess I'm doing this. I find it kind of funny that I never really... I think I did think to try it, but I just didn't really decide to. I think I thought to one day in Sandbox, and I was kind of like, nah, I just won't. Oh, it's gone. I don't know if I threw it or if it just like decided that it had enough of that or what, but not that I really mind it. This is probably like my favorite arena out of all of them. Just this arena, better than most, actually gave a good feel for what combining these types of gameplay elements could do. How do I keep on missing things like that? I shouldn't be missing that. Were you always that slow, pal? You seem so slow. Like, so absurdly slow. You get staggered and you're just, like, on the ground for 5 years straight. Honestly, swords machines are, like... they're slow to a point of almost being harder because they're slow. Like, when I stagger a swords machine, I don't actually want them to be staggered for that long, because I want another parry opportunity. But then they're, like, stuck on the ground for 4 years. Just showers. Not sure if they would. Wait. Actually, no, I think I'm just hearing this. I'm gonna get rid of that so I don't get misled by it. Because I am trying to listen out for orbs. I'm not sure. Shut up. Don't mislead me. Okay, I think that's it all. It'd be even more fucked up if one of the windows were gonna be open, but it's not like, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, it's just kind of open. You just kind of tell that it is. I doubt it. I doubt there's anything up there. Feels like the odds are pretty low. Wait, is that just a reflection? I think that was just a reflection. Yeah, I didn't realize until just now. There's a bit of a faked indirect lighting moment, which, I mean, I'm not sure if me saying faked indirect lighting makes it sound like a bad thing. I actually usually prefer faked indirect lighting over actual indirect lighting, because indirect lighting is usually so expensive to compute that it will destroy your computer and your frames. But it'll somehow destroy your computer first. So I definitely missed everything in this level. And I wonder if I should do a second pass of it now, or if I should just go to the next one. I feel like since I'm streaming, I'd usually do a second pass of the same level immediately, but I think if I'm streaming, then I should probably get a change of scenery and just try to get better at actually finding things. So now I found this secret that was up here. In fact, I should be pretty much fine for quite a bit, because, yeah, here it is. Because I forgot the first two. So going based off of that is kind of rough, especially because you kind of backtrack during this level, so it's kind of hard to say. So I'll continue with it as normal. Well, actually, before I do, they probably wouldn't hide another secret orb at the rooftops. That would be an odd decision. And if they did, then... well, no, because you go through the rooftops in the normal level in this one, in the nighttime variant, so still very unlikely. Is my logic. think there was... No, I found that. I was gonna say, I think there was like a dual wield thing in one of these levels. It might not even been this one. But no, I found that. I actually grabbed it as well. I wasn't sure, I couldn't remember if I picked it up or not, or if I just let it be. Because given the fact that it's kind of expecting... It's kind of expecting it to pause an encounter that I wasn't sure if I wanted to deal with at the time. Speaking of encounters. This could kill me. I don't really know why I'm doing this, but... Yeah, well, I didn't. Somewhat surprisingly. Now, see, there wouldn't be a secret around here because far too many people would potentially jump around that area. Or if there was a secret, then I found it, probably, because I jumped around that area not knowing where to go. The secret orbs in general are very... It's very odd because they're quite... I didn't find this? That is surprising. Okay, so this is the center one. That's interesting. But also, I'm very surprised I didn't... I guess there's a lot of vents that it looks like you can shoot, but then it doesn't work. So I probably just assumed it was one of those. Because I never used this elevator. I've never even seen this elevator in motion. This is about to be the first time I waste it. I waste precious resources, precious power, just to see this elevator move. I didn't even know it made a sound. I'm just supposed to go forward. I forgot about that. Alright, yep, Well, that's the direction you're supposed to go. I've also went through this area, like, a few times, so I'm probably good in regards to that. Probably. I mean, I'll be backtracking anyway, so there should be another opportunity to look. If I don't find the secret orbs around here. I missed that. Why am I... You know, I exhausted all of my ability to play this game on pure inking that level when I did that. Well... Sorry, these filing cabinets, they looked suspicious for a second, but I think there might be nothing to them. Their lumpiness left me feeling suspicious that they may have been something. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in this room. Maybe, probably. I mean, there is this clock, but I think I already messed with it a bit, and I don't think I found anything odd about it. How suspicious. Why would there be these black... Actually, wait. Oh, I realized. Okay, never mind. Not suspicious at all, turns out. Yeah, I think that's everything for this room. Probably. You know, thinking about it even more, I didn't realize just how much harder finding secrets for these levels was going to be. Not even necessarily because of the type of levels they are, but just because of how long they are. There's a lot of opportunities for me to miss finding things. Why do you, like, sometimes just not attack? Is that intentional behavior, or is that this game's AI being as functional as always? Because it definitely looks like they sometimes just forget how to attack you. Oh, is that? That's not intentional. I can't tell if that's intentional or not. I think that's not intentional, because it's like, I think it's, yeah, I think it's fucked up. Oh well, that's what that is. Probably nothing else here, maybe. Most likely. Actually, there's... Hold on. Oh, this is awful. This is horrible. It might literally not be possible to stand on top of that, then, just because of the, like, gravity shifting. Damn, how unfortunate. I mean, not really, because presumably that would imply there's probably just nothing to be done with the vent, but... Damn. Okay. I think I broke every box when I first went through this level. I don't think any of them contain anything at all. And even if they did, what would they contain that would unlock something? Is there one left? Oh, no. They were just waiting a very, very long period of time. That looks like there's nothing there. Just in case. If I can even hit... Damn it. I don't even think you were able to, like, I think you collide with it. Yeah, I think you collide with it, so you can't even go in there no matter what. You know, there's a chance. Oh. Okay, this I just want to make sure that. Okay, good. I gotta constantly make sure that the chat's working. It's fucked up that I have to, but I do. As in, it's fucked up because I have to do that due to YouTube breaking one day and simply not functioning. One day being yesterday, and now I am permanently terrified of that possibility. You know, I'm looking around everywhere. If it's near the end of this level, I don't remember how this level ends, though. I already got the secret for this whole area, right? Where is this stored? Because I did this first try. Yeah? No, because of the fact that this is like... Because of the fact that everything's a puppet, and you don't get style as a result. It means that the main problem here probably is just the fact that you get inundated with hard damage. Where is something? Oh wait. Oh, I could just start breaking? Already? Oh. I thought this was harder than it is. This is actually kind of easy. I shouldn't say it's easy, but... my memory of this was that it was significantly more difficult. Which is actually kind of a good thing, because that means that it's well designed for a first playthrough of it. Well, I don't know why I went and did this, because... I know that there is something here, but it doesn't really mean much, right now. Well, I don't remember where it even is. Oh wait, it's through the door, right there. Highlighted door. Oh, it's the same code every time. Interesting. So you, like, entirely don't need to do that. Like, you can, if you know the code already, then you already know the code. So I see. Right, so there was also the thing behind this building. And I don't really know... I don't think I got a secret for this. I don't know if this would have an orb. I'd imagine that repeatedly looping around like this wouldn't do anything. Considering it's almost certainly just a portal looping me around over and over again. I mean, there's two lamps. One of them's on and the other one isn't on. And you're not centered. So, my expert analysis, there it is. And this doesn't simulate physics for some unknown reason. Whereas this chair does. Even though this chair looks like it'd be less likely to simulate physics. What a bizarre, definitely intentional design decision. I wonder what it would ever mean. Finally, we're getting to sections that are running at like 5 FPS, or at least feels like they are. Not really sure what would be considered an end of the level secret, so. Nothing in particular here looks that suspicious. The explosion sound on the I don't know what they're called, the Providence Whiplash points. It makes my brain feel like using that for healing is actually going to hurt me every time. I suppose if I don't find all the secrets on like a first pass through these levels, I could just also get to the other thing that I've been putting off, which is I should actually get around to porting my mod over to this build, because as expected, this did completely break my mod. Not that I'm upset about that, because it should have broken my mod, because the code was terrible. I've already taken a little peek at the code and it still looks terrible, so that's concerning, but yes, perfection was never going to be reached, I suppose. But I'm not so sure perfection is what I had in mind. At the same time, anyway. Given how nothing this whole area is, this is rather suspicious, to be honest. This area is pretty damn nothing. But perhaps it really truly is just nothing. Like, I mean, nothing stops it from being nothing. It just seems quite suspicious that it would be as nothing as it is. That looks, mostly because of the flickering. That looks pretty scuffed with the flickering effect happening. I guess that's only if you're standing here, because it's, depth fighting the, actual, like, roof texture. There's a chance there would be something related to just being somewhere whilst upside down, although I'm not really sure how that would work. Like, how that would cause anything different. But it's possible. So it's hard for me not to choose to have a look around. What do you mean you can't break the projector? What a shit. Man, my frames in this room. Actually, should probably stay upside down. Alright, then that means I need to. Oh wait, there's the thing. Did I already? How have I entirely forgotten where I put that redstone? Oh wait, presumably I put it where it needs to go, yeah. Ow. Okay, pan him through the ceiling. Just, wait for me to hit the... Wait, actually, is there one down here? Because I'm upside down. Surely there is. No way they didn't think to do that. There's no way they didn't think about that. There's no way. I don't think they thought about that. And that's, kind of funny. They made levels where you can rotate, where your gravity can be rotated in any direction, but they forgot about the possibility that you could fall out of the world whilst upside down. Which is a shame. It's like a just checkpoint. That's unfortunate. Well, hopefully I don't slip out of the world again this time. Okay. Immediately. There's no waiting around. Well, see, how the fuck... I'd have to just play that again to get back in. Or I could do that. Or I could force my way back into the level. Oh, what is happening? You know, this is like some shit that I'd see from someone making fun of bugs in games, and I'd be like, no game ever has a bug like that. Well, due to the things they've tried, they've successfully had that happen. Okay, there we go. Or not. I do not understand, to be honest. Probably because my camera is going all over the place, but... Yeah, I think I'm in a... Okay, and I'm out of the world. Let's try that again. Okay, I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. And this will flip me back around, right? Yes, okay. I'm actually not completely and utterly broken anymore. Maybe being upside down is a bad idea, but I'm still gonna try to see if I can... No. I am no longer upside down. Isn't the challenge for this level to complete it upside down? How the hell does that work if the game can barely function? Complete the game upside down. The main challenge there is that if you fall off of the map, then you will not be set back into it. You have to restart. Well, from a checkpoint. I wonder if they have an actual proper interp function now. I just thought about that. That was something they were lacking before, is they didn't have a real interp function. I wonder if they do now. Well, they had a constant interp function. They didn't have an ease interp function before. But now that I think about it, whenever it like flips your camera around, it indeed doesn't ease interp, right? Wait, that doesn't flip your camera around. Because I acknowledge that I'm upside down again. I for some reason have a stupid amount of faith that it's going to manage to not break this time. No, no. Don't shatter. Okay, there. Because previously, instead of having a real interp function, they just used really bad formulas that would, if ever used in a non-fixed update loop, would result in frame rate dependent logic, which obviously you generally don't really want. The thing is, a camera interp is something that I'm not so sure you would do that in a fixed update loop. Because that's generally something you would do in a non-fixed update. Oh, okay. Just trying to see the... Because that's definitely an ease interp of some kind. I guess, given the fact that I have a mod for this game that I'm supposed to be porting over to this version of it, suppose I can actually try some things with that. Wrong way. If I fall out of the map, I'm going to not do this anymore. That will be the point where the time investment has become too much for something like that to happen. Alright, well, I'm done with this level. That's it. That's that. That's that. Nothing else would be done for that level. Well, other than the challenge, I think, which... I think I already failed it, right? Because, yeah, I finished the level upside... Oh, you have to just finish it upside down. Oh, well, shit. Actually, I could have done that. Oh, well, whatever. That doesn't sound like a particularly enjoyable challenge, to be honest. It's kind of... Just kind of be the same level, but upside down, but... Full of power with terminal velocity. You know, ULTRAKILL challenges are usually pretty unfun sounding, unfortunately. They have a tendency to be really, really unfun, and that sucks. Alright, well, stream changes. Stream pivots once more. Because it's still gonna be ULTRAKILL, but it won't be just actual ULTRAKILL gameplay. It is to be this. There we go. Which probably isn't. This is one of those things. A programming streaming is one of those things that would only be fun to watch for a particular kind of person. That I don't think the Ultra Kill audience has a huge overlap there. But I mean, whatever. Oh, that is not. Let me open my actual mod before I. There's the. There's gonna be such a. So this mod right here was entirely made for before fraud. Now I don't even know if it will compile any longer. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not gonna compile. Not as many errors as I would have expected, to be honest. But yeah, I guess malicious face doesn't. Oh, or is it not spider body anymore? Ah, they renamed it. They renamed it. They renamed it to malicious face. So I'm guessing spider body doesn't exist. Did I ever refer to spider body? I did. Wait, what? It does exist? What the fuck is this then? What? Wait, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. I mean, they can, but also you can't. Oh, they have a different concept. They have enemy script, which is a mono behavior type, although malicious face still has no relation to spider body. Well, not directly. Does this refer to spider body? Is spider body just in for legacy reasons? Does it actually do anything? So many questions. So yeah, I was unsure what the easiest way to go about this would be. Like, I don't know if I should try to edit it to get it to work, or if I should take this as a sign to just rewrite things myself. A lot of it would definitely be copy pastable if I do decide to rewrite it. I wasn't really expecting to only be streaming for an hour and 13 minutes and already doing this. Is the reason I hadn't already figured this out. wasn't my expectation. Well, I'll say one thing for sure. This enemy utils thing, I actually should probably add the new enemies to it because it maps out what type of enemy different enemies are, like the terminal type that they have. And wait, no, I didn't successfully compile. I was gonna say me building it would automatically put the mod DLL in here, but it didn't successfully build, so it should be okay. Oh yeah, great. This is gonna be a whole thing now. All right, so yeah, there's no new enemies I don't have, I'm pretty sure, so I can actually do this monotonous work of adding the different enemy types to the map. Hopefully these are just called what they are called in game, because sometimes that won't be the case, and that makes things a little annoying, as you have to try to figure out what the different names mean. I feel like the second V2 arm was not correctly... It wasn't correctly the green arm before, but maybe it was, and I don't know, maybe it's just sticking out to me now. That is Lillian. This one is lesser, and it's Death Counter. This one is Supreme. Or whatever the fuck. And this PS2 boss over here. Providence is lesser as well. And powers are greater. Alright. And then I have to actually... then I have to actually add them to... the other thing. So you're an angel and you're an angel, so I already know that much. So that'll be easy to just go ahead and toss them in this mapping. I know you can't see the code right now, so I'd have to like swap back and forth, and it's not particularly interesting no matter whether regardless of whether you can see it or not. And so you're both demons, yeah. They're both demons. I think that's all the new enemies. Wait, no. And okay, never mind. Here, Reaper's a husk. What were these called again? Right. Okay. I think that's everything new. Added to the mapping. I would use what there is in game, but I don't think the game has really like a proper just mapping for it. Like I don't think it's stored in any way, but if it is, then I just didn't find it, I guess. They like fucked up the They fucked this up a little bit. It doesn't always cancel your weapons being equipped, so sometimes V1 presses the buttons of the terminals using fucking firepower. Which is a bold decision, I must say. But I guess they just know the terminals have the strength required to actually handle that. Yeah, I don't even know how much of this is going to be applicable anymore. Is most of why I'm like, it'd be easier just to take what would still work and rewrite it. I'm gonna honestly say probably. Like, the mod's got some complexity, but it's not that complex. Here, we'll what are these functions called exactly? Go ahead and commit it, and I suppose what I can do is try to make a new branch for it. I mean, technically speaking, I should have more branches in general, but it's not like anyone's ever going to contribute to this. Okay. The fraud branch exists. And I think the reason I wanted to make a new branch for this is because I believe I may just straight up for now go through a whole bunch of things and just obliterate it out of existence. Because I don't know what will and will not work. I guess some stuff doesn't need to be destroyed, but one thing I definitely want to get rid of, or at least change, is that there's this... Good grief, I have a lot of things open. There is the Spider enemy additions. There's a... These got being called mods doesn't actually make any sense anymore. Anyway, there's this enemy prefab thing, which pretty much just stores the enemy as a prefab the second they spawn in. And it does a whole load of extra shit that I'm not sure what of it is necessary at this point. Because there's a whole entire rewrite. It's kind of hard to say what is and isn't necessary until I've seen what they've changed. So, apparently drone.music requested is either private now or doesn't exist. Oh, it uses whatever enemy.music requested is. What's enemy? That is an enemy. Okay. Enemy is... Okay, so they have a... Wait, is enemy a form of enemy? Does enemy identifier still exist? Yes. What the fuck is enemy now? Why is tab getting spammed? I just went through and tabbed the shit out of everything on accident. I don't know why that was getting spammed. How unusual. So there's a go limp function inside of enemy, whatever enemy is. And I know this sounds absurd, like, oh, whatever enemy is, it's obviously it represents an enemy, but it's like, if enemy identifier still exists, and enemy exists, then, because enemy identifier used to kind of feel like a generic enemy class, because every enemy in the game had an enemy identifier thing. Wait, it's calling go limp. Oh, here's go limp. So is this a generic go limp function that every enemy in the game has? Or do only some enemies have this? I suppose I could check. Because I remember death was an absolute mess before. I wonder how setting health works now, then. Wait, zombie... Okay, so zombie is now just enemy, machine is now just enemy, and statue is now just enemy. That's interesting. Although drone is still drone. But then I'm guessing what I would do for drone is drone.enemy. Yes. Do they just have eid.enemy instead? Because I feel like that's... If everything's just going to point to enemy in the end anyway, then it doesn't really need that, which is definitely a significantly better design. But I guess not. That's... What? Okay, so they have zombie, machine, and statue, but they don't have enemy, even though all of these just link back to being enemy. Like, I'm gonna guess these are all the exact same thing. Statue equals get component enemy. Zombie equals get component enemy. Yep, yeah, I think machine equals get component enemy. Yeah, these all equal the same thing. They just, for some reason, still store them in multiple variables, which is extremely bizarre because, I mean, I don't think that I don't think that replacing it with something cleaner, which would just be a single enemy variable, I'd be surprised if that would take a while. I wonder if they did this for compatibility with mods, but I don't know. I think I'd prefer for it to just kind of... It's already breaking compatibility. I think I'd prefer for it to just all-out shatter compatibility in every single way. But I don't know. I guess it's a matter of preference. Well, and I still don't know what EID now is. Like, enemy identifier still exists. And also what's bizarre about it is that it's very similar to enemy at first glance. Although it lacks the, like, stuff related to portals. Does enemy is it actually in use? I'm not so sure if it's actually in use. I guess I'd have to just... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go through and deal with every single compiler error, at least as many as I can. Right, well, oh, well, this is a shame. I have to go into the new movement class and see what they do for... Does it get hurt? Because what I end up wanting to do for this is get the exact way that replicate the exact way that this works. Already making mods for fraud. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily for fraud. It's really just, as the title suggests, just porting my mod over to fraud, so that way I can continue working on that. Or at the very least, trying to get a start on it. And so, of course, since fraud is like a super big rewrite to the game's code, I'm having to get my bearings for how this new code is structured. Oh, so this still exists. But it's private now. Well, that's rude. Where does it come from? Okay, it's just a singleton, so I guess that's why it's private, is because it doesn't really need to be public. Um, I might just go ahead and... This shouldn't have been here. This shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have put that there. That should have been listening to the pre-hurt event. Wait, post-hurt supposedly have processed damage. Oh, okay, I stored the processed damage. Somewhat janky way of doing that, but I guess that would work fine. Not sure if I approve of my decision to do that, but whatever, I suppose. Well, as for this, I can just get rid of it, because it's kind of making things harder to read, and I can always add that back later, since there's the source control repository. I might just yoink this, and then, like, interpret it as I go, and, like, make it actually, because I can't literally just copy this and then have the... I say that. There's a lot here. I'd need to just pay attention to only what actually changes the amount of damage taken. Because that's the only thing that actually matters. So, these two things. This is just the exact same. These two are just the exact same. I just literally need to do assist controller, that's instance, not singleton. I'm thinking of Godot. I guess I could store it. Just because it would be a little less verbose. That's the thing about singletons, is that storing it into looking really odd and verbose. And what else potentially modifies damage in any way? That might be it, actually. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that those are the only modifiers to how much damage the player takes, which is kind of surprising. I mean, it's nice because that's pretty clean compared to... Maybe it was always that clean. It might have always been that clean, actually. Yeah, I think it was always that clean. Okay, well... Wait. Okay. I'm just setting that because that is not... I did not do it correctly. That should have a capital letter for the start of it, so that way I can tell it's not a local variable. And then I should probably just, honestly, for clarity, pass in process damage, even though they're the same value. And then also the same thing here. Or better yet, actually, damage should not change. Like, damage shouldn't be the thing that I edit. I should just go straight to editing processed damage. Set that to equal damage. And then it said do all my processing to processed damage. So that way damage just always is... It's always the original damage value that is passed in here without any of the processing from... Well, really only two things, which is invincibility and assist controller. And I believe that should accurately mirror the amount of damage the player will actually take when the game calculates it. Technically speaking, I could just, like, override the get hurt thing, like actually prevent it from running, but I don't really want to do that, because then that's extra error prone, because it's going to be there's all this extra stuff, and I'm looking at decompiled code, which is already just annoying to read. So then make sure as well that the function is defined correctly. Why does this is a new bug for VS Code that I've been experiencing, where as I like control tab, it will just it'll start spamming tabs, and even when I'm not holding tab, it's awful. Terrible bug. That keeps on messing me up. Where is here? Okay. So probably easier, instead of just swapping back and forth, probably easier to just like take this, put a comment down, and compare this, make sure that it's all the same. What's the mod about? It's not really about anything that... it's like, it's not really about anything in particular. It's just if I have an idea for a cheat that I want to add, usually a cheat that's like a challenge, and I only make them cheats because if it modifies the game, I don't really think I should like have the ability to be on a leaderboard or anything. But anyway, yeah, it's mostly just various challenge modifiers. And that's effectively it. That's not really what it exclusively has to be. I guess I can add the GitHub repository in the description. Not that I expect anyone would care for it, but it is open source, so whatever. Might as well. Yeah, it's really a personal use mod more than anything else, but I have the source code openly available just in case if there's ever the scenario that someone, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for how you could use it. You could use it by not even using it. It could even be a reference for something in specific about modding this game. But yeah, I guess I would show the mod, but I mean, I guess I already have videos on my channel of it, so I guess those are there. Yeah, it's just a challenge mod effectively. I try to be as creative with the challenge modifiers as I can be as well. Which that is a case fully and truly of just as creative as I can be. Like, as in, I'm not sure how creative the ideas are in the grand scheme of things, but anyway. So it's looking like this doesn't handle we're getting hurt at all anymore. Seems like it. Yeah, but this is looking a lot less annoying. Like, a lot less annoying. Is mass dying? That's not how you spell dying. Anyway, this does look a lot less annoying, because I'm only finding a single get hurt function so far. Actually, I should go to enemy identifier. They have a function, well, they used to have a method called deliver damage. It still exists. So deliver damage, what does it do? So that's calling get hurt on... It's calling get hurt on enemy. Then it only calls process death for enemy identifier once. Okay, that's unfortunate. I guess you could still just use deliver damage. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but that's not that bad. Yeah, this is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Okay. Well, from what I've seen of the rewrite, it didn't seem like the programming practices in terms of performance were much improved. They're still instantiating game objects all over the place. But this is way... This looks like this should be way easier to work with from like a modding point of view. Because there was like 20 different death functions just scattered around the place before, and it was abysmal. It was so bad. Hard to overemphasize just how bad it was. Well, in this enemy additions model behavior, I think I'm gonna add something aside from enemy identifier, which is enemy, which I guess I could just call enemy. Not entirely sure what the relationship between the various classes are yet. Mostly, I'm not 100% sure how enemy identifier slots in relative to... Not relative, but just slots in when compared to enemy. As every time I say it, it like sounds wacky. I guess I could, instead of listening for enemy identifier dot start or awake or whatever, I guess I could actually look or listen for enemy dot start or awake or whatever, and mostly mention that because that sounds better. Generally speaking, just passing around an enemy class as opposed to an enemy identifier one sounds a lot less bizarre. Anyway. Ooh. So I wonder if it's gonna have the exact same weirdness that spider body thing once was. Because, so, for malicious faces and malicious faces only, their enemy identifier class was not at their top level game object. I hope they fix that, just because that was a constant little annoyance, but hard to say. Trying to think how I could even check. I think I would just need to check by actually checking. Like, I think I would need to go into the game and have it print out a debug print for all the various components. So, yeah. Anyway, for EID for health here, kind of added this for convenience purposes. It seems like everything doesn't, like, okay, EID.statue.health, that goes to enemy. Machine.health, that goes to enemy. Drone.health goes to enemy. Zombie.health goes to enemy. Yeah, so they simplified that significantly. And I'm guessing, again, for Spider, which is malicious face, I'm guessing. I think I already checked this. I think I'm like double checking this. Forget. Oh wait, okay, so it's like spider.spider is how you did that. And yes, that goes to enemy. So it seems like everything uses that, so that's gonna simplify things. We just don't even really need this anymore, really, but guess I can, because I might as well since it already existed. Yes, it's kind of hard to tell what the root game object's gonna be now. Well, let me just continue trying to get it to actually file. So enemy pane has some errors in it. Right. Oh, yeah, this is to do with, okay. I don't even know how well this worked anyway. I can just delete that. Just eradicate that. That doesn't really need to exist. Why does this tab bug exist now? I demand this be fixed soon. Okay, let me try to compile it again and see what errors it gives me. And then I'll also have to figure out the patches, which is going to be a pretty monotonous endeavor, but whatever. This is what? Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I don't need this anymore. This catastrophe, which I must have made before I made that convenience function that I have. I actually didn't need this before. I should have just gotten rid of this to use the more convenient possibility instead. Oh wait, that's just it getting the... There, that should work the same way. And some of this stuff's gonna be completely and utterly fucked up. This is just my observation, my guess. Anyway, it goes through EID.health. Try to make more sense to go through EAD. I set that yet? Yes, I get set on awake, so that's set immediately. So yeah, this was just another thing that I hadn't updated yet. I could just completely get rid of all of that. Okay. Did it actually just compile? Oh. Alright, well, it's not going to work. That's for sure. It's definitively not going to work. I'm going to do that again just to, I don't know, OCD, I guess. But yeah, it's definitively not going to work because there's going to be patch issues. Oh, actually, before I launch this, I should go back into the loader configuration and ensure that the console is not hidden. I never really let the console be visible in stream. Maybe I should give it a thing to be captured. Alright, yes. So, not as many patch errors as I expected. Because I guess that's all of them. There's... How many is this? I'll just go ahead and close the game, because it doesn't matter anymore. Um... Yeah, okay. Not many patch errors. Really just... Zombie limp patch? Is that really it? Actually, that sounds odd. Because now that I think about it, shouldn't all of those have problems? All of the, like, enemy death patches? Yeah, spider... Well, spider body... I don't even know what that's used for at this point. But that one used to just have a patch for die. Oh, yeah, that still exists. Yeah, I guess it's truly just only statue lost its golden patch, I guess. Alright. That's surprising. Turns out this code has... Holy shit, it has 1,757 instances of the word enemy. I don't even know how I've even achieved that. Well, kind of just wanting to find where... Probably here, maybe? Perhaps? Yes. So right now the enemy start patch works by EID. Would it make more sense to pass through enemy or EID? Okay, well, enemy has a thing for EID. Okay, yeah. So passing enemy around probably makes more sense than passing around enemy identifier now, so... I'm assuming every enemy in the game has an enemy class on it, considering it's literally called enemy. I have to imagine. I'd have to imagine that every enemy in the game has it. Which then means I can instead use enemy to start, which I'm assuming exists, because it probably does stuff on start. Yes, it does. Does it have an undisable function? No. What is enemy identifier? Yes, it still does, and an unenable, so I guess that'll go through enemy identifier. Does it also has an await I can use. Maybe I just shouldn't be swapping off of enemy identifier, but at the same time, well, yeah, doing this would be more performant if I'm going to want to swap, pass around enemy objects as opposed to EID objects, so... Or references, I should say. I'm not really passing around the objects themselves, because this is not a by-value language, or pass-by-value language. And so this is not expecting an EID. Because I'll do that. Yes. I suppose I will do that. These aren't going to work anymore because... Oh, this is by EID as well. So the more you update, the more there is to... Okay, well for now I could just pass in that and that would do it. Let me check actually. Oh, okay. Hmm. I could just do this actually. This just I can because it depends. What does enemy have in it? Does it have? Seems like it refers to the ID for enemy type anyway, so this actually makes quite a bit of sense to do. Or at least it makes sense in the sense that it's fairly consistent with how they decided to do things, it seems, at first glance. So that took me way too long to realize what I was supposed to do. Like, completely, my brain just fried as it was. All I needed to do was pass it. I like just forgot everything about everything. So then this should be fine. That should needs to be done like that. I mean, yeah, that should just be fine to be swapped out. Oh, this one kind of makes it a little bit weird because I don't know, is there like okay, there's an enemy dot death sound, which is actually very, very useful. It's a lot cleaner than how they used to do it. I'm gonna probably be saying that a lot whilst I'm porting this over. Probably gonna be a ton of me saying that this is a lot cleaner than how it used to be. I didn't even use that variable, so that was like I could. Does this work actually in C sharp? No, it doesn't. I guess you can only do it like that. Is this actually like a specified thing? That's just so no, that doesn't work in C sharp. Is this store whether or not? I guess it's fine if it doesn't. So I can always do this. It's interesting. Oh, well, this I could probably just do get component directly. Probably. It's a little hard to say since I still haven't gotten to actually get a good look at internals. I'm gonna go back to this class now that it compiles, and I'm gonna go into the start patch. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do enemy go dot transform dot parents dot object dot debug from children. And I'm gonna spawn enemies in, and I'm gonna see what that ends up being like. Cause I need to figure out what the structure of the enemies are now. Yeah, there's still a but whatever. I think the patch errors are fine. Even though I mean they're fine in the sense that I can fix them later. I don't have to fix them immediately. I wonder how strictly necessary those preloads are now. Am I getting... No, I'm not getting air spam. I don't know what's causing performance issues. So, I did intentionally do kill all the second I spawned it in, by the way, because I just wanted to get a print. I suppose I can... Hold on. That was Malicious Face. I don't know, I guess I'll do Swords Machine. And... I mean, I guess I could do a newer enemy as well. Not that it really matters. How fast are you? Oh, yeah, that's whatever. What was that? Wait, was that a not implemented exception? Oh, that's unexpected. Did I not add providence to... Which function is this? 169. Oh, yeah, I don't think I did. Did I add any of the newer ones to this? Oh, yeah, I did there. And Providence is there. So I wonder why that happened. Unless they're just not... Unless their enemy type just isn't Providence, which would be bizarre given the fact that they are, in fact, that, but it would be the first time. The Centaur, or Earth Mover, or whatever else it's potentially called, it's internally called Centaur, that is classified as a Wicked, so it would not be the first time. So I was printing the parent, so yeah, doing the parent print for Malicious Face indeed seems like... Okay, that's unfortunate. I guess that is what that is. It would appear that Malicious Faces still have that weird perk going on where their enemy thing is not actually at their root game object. How unfortunate. But then everything else, that's not how it works for anything else. I think it might be the exact same. Yeah, it seems like it's the exact same in that regard, but that's unfortunate. Because I would frankly prefer that they made everything consistent, but I suppose I can deal with it. Well, there's also that patch issue. Couple patch issues. But actually, there's only one. I think there's only one. Oh, it would be an enemy death. Going to straight up, I'll check first. A golem still exists, actually. Wait, doesn't? Oh, statue is a... Oh, okay. They're using inheritance. Oh, wow. I think that's something. Okay, so that's just using enemy golem, which... Did I make something for enemy golem? No, no, I did not. Well, why didn't I? Now's the time to do it, I suppose. I guess this works. I don't really fully approve of it, but I suppose it works. Oops, that's the button I meant to press. Going to launch it again. See, I'm definitely going to get the same event errors, but hopefully I don't get any more patch errors. Well, hope is not on my side, apparently. Is it just going in order? I didn't know it did that. Yeah, well, what is machine? Machine is a type of enemy, so I don't think I need to worry about that. Wait. Ah, okay, hold on. This would have made more sense for me to go this way around. Although it doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just gonna go into this and destroy that. Get that out of existence. I think this is from Explosion, was it? Yes. Why don't I pass that through? I guess there's other times to do that, but I should have already been doing that. Does Drum have a death function? Let's go check all of these. It does actually, it's not even like... Okay. Because I guess Drone, instead of being an enemy, it's an enemy script, which is its own thing. I don't know what's going on there. So I guess that could stay. That still fully exists. Explode still fully exists. Pretty sure this still fully exists. We're trying to find the actual definition. Not just instances of it being called. There it is. Okay, this still fully exists. Although, this just goes from death to death from explosion, then process death. So this should probably be changed now to process death. I was remember enemy death patch was allowed because I thought... Oh, sure. Get the shit the fuck. Get that out of here. Alright. Well, let's see if there's even more patch errors. Wow, is that really all the patches functional now? Seems like it. mean, there's still gonna be event errors, I'm sure. It'd be very nice if I didn't have to, like, load all those levels briefly. Yeah, okay, here's the event errors. Wait. Oh, wait, that's actually to do with a different mode. Seems. It's just something for me also to fix, but actually seems to be unrelated. Let me close that. I would put off fixing that till later, to be honest. So this one's related to something else. Kind of curious what that's about. Hold on. $32. Why did I search 32? It's not. Is that really all it is? Okay, well, it's strange if so. And then the actual, much more questionable thing. Wait, it might be the exact same thing, but just a different mod. Almost the exact same line number too, despite being completely different files. Yeah. It's because I use the exact same code. Never mind that would happen, though. I guess this instance isn't getting set to null, like fully null, so now I'd have to. Because it's like, because this equals null and is null are different things in C# when you're dealing with something like Unity, because Unity is able to destroy an object that even is able to destroy an object without actually without everything that refers to it being set to null or to a different value. So you have to use Unity's overridden or overloaded equals operator in order to properly check if it is null. I'm not surprised that there's a lot of errors we have fixed since Fraud came out, but I wish that it would not repeatedly decide to give the errors one after another. Right, well, new errors have rolled in. Like, I wish I could get them all at once, as opposed to having to fix whatever error there is, then launch the game again, and then fix the next batch, and then launch the game again. I didn't compile my other mod. I fixed that. Assuming this should work. I think it's just I think it's just that I didn't compile it. What does it do with the quick message pool? But honestly, I'm surprised that works. Pretty shocking. So on scene loaded on this. What's that making? Something with get game object. Oh. Oh, this is a shame. So I'm gonna have to add even more nil invalid calls. Good thing I have a convenience function for that though that I made. This kind of just like helps handle that in a way that would hopefully be less. Funny how the comment above it is longer than the code itself. The same thing. Same thing every time it seems. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, I will build again, hopefully once again, and then I can actually get over to trying to get actual gameplay affecting things to work. Reason it would be nice if I didn't have to do this anymore. This like scene loading thing is the reason I have to do that is because some assets, there's probably another way to get to them, but some assets are in only certain levels, and I need to load those levels. Copy the assets, and then store them for my own use. Because there's a lot of instances for the way they handle that is by specifically giving references, presumably in the Unity editor, to specific prefabs, which is a bit unfortunate for me, because Unity unfortunately doesn't have a concept of prefabs at runtime. Just gonna load this in, and so far no errors here in the console that I can monitor, and then here also no errors. Now one thing that will make fraud harder to develop for is that it's really buggy right now. I'm assuming they'll patch it a fair bit, but as it currently stands, fraud is extremely broken, so playing it in vanilla will give me like 100,000 errors in this thing. So it's gonna be really hard to tell when a bug is my fault versus being the fault of the game just being extremely busted. Oh, I'm gonna check something. So, okay. I'm noticing the frame rate being kind of poor. Is that to do with a bug with my mod right now, or is that... I'm gonna disable all of my mods and only have melon loader. The reason I'm doing that is because if it still lags, then that's probably just to do with the melon loader turbo for some reason, but I don't really know that would happen. What? Oh, why did I build my... Fucking stupid. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And let me see... Actually, hold on. Let me go into the game itself. Get a bit of a better overview at things. Depending on what I see I'm in game, I might want to get some other things. Going to add in one mod. Not this one. Not this one. Like, I keep on almost accidentally just building this mod, even though I don't need to. Just by habit. So here's the thing about modding this game. As far as I'm concerned, well, modding any Unity game with this sort of a setup, as far as I'm concerned, there's not really any way for you to There's no way for you to like hot reload, so it's being a very monotonous process. But it seems like yeah, so the only thing that's tanking performance is this mod, which is the most complex one, so I'm not too surprised by that. Not sure exactly what part of it is tanking performance, but that's to be figured out. There's a lot of possibilities for what could be tanking performance, which is also kind of an argument for going for a full rewrite. But if I go for that, I'd probably want to do that off stream. At least get a start on that off stream. I don't know, it's been about just a 2-hour stream. I wasn't expecting to P-rank that level first try. I was expecting that would take at least like an hour to do, and then that happened super fast, and so then at that point I was like a bit lost as to what else I was gonna do. Yeah, I might actually just continue this off stream just because, I mean, I already knew when I started this. This part of modding is not going to be particularly entertaining because this part is reverse engineering their code, and I mean, most of making a mod isn't going to be entertaining for especially people who play ULTRAKILL because, well, anyway. Yeah, I'm probably going to continue this off stream and try to figure out what exactly it is that's running that is. It's probably something to do with one of the things I had that kind of leveraged a part of the game, and that thing has now changed some amount, and yeah, I just need to figure it out.